Alright, so I'm going to do a rant. G'day YouTube and everyone out there. So this rant's going to be on the factor and form of duality in creation. So, if you look at creation, everything inside of creation from the one pure source of creation consciousness has created in a duality. You've got your night and your day, you've got your sun and your moon, you've got your ground and the sky, you've got your male and the female, and it goes right down to the biological structures that are always having the polar opposite to be able to join together to make the whole. So, if everything is in creation that has always been formed, then therefore the one creator that created everything in duality. Now, the reason why it's duality as such is because at the fact of it all is it's consciousness energy that manifests the physical reality through the vibrational conscious. You know all that anyway. So, we have a positive influence of energy that's self-aware, which is Yahweh, well, it's all Yahweh, but this is the positive side of Yahweh, so you look at this as the peace, the loving, everything is pure, everything's perfect, and then you have the complete polar opposite on the other side, which is what we reference to as the indoctrination understanding of educational programming inside the matrix is Satan, Lucifer, evil, witches, warlocks, and stuff like that, right? But if you look at Isaiah 45:7, it actually says right there, Yahweh himself saying, I am the one that creates all the good, I am the one that creates all the evil. So there's your complete reference to Yahweh loves to create duality as a creation for the whole entire structure of the matrix. So what have we got the problem now in the modern day, right? We have the black and white chessboard, or the ebony and ivory, or whatever you want to say, right, of the world, that's all mingled, right? So we have it all fucked up because we could have creation working with what we need to do for creation, for the duality. For example, at the moment, we're creating a war. Well, the Illuminati say something to you, right? They say, example, the swine flu is going to come and get you. It's going to be worldwide. See, that's the negative. But the positive is after that, you didn't fucking die from the swine flu. So they have to balance it all the time, and they have to do this with the entire world all the time. That's the reason why 1% holds the money and shit is complete opposite to what it should be. It's all to do with balancing the duality of Yahweh so it doesn't implode, because you can't have all positive and you can't have all negative. So if the world was all hunky-dory with peace, it wouldn't function, because that's not what happens. You need the negative and the positive to create the whole. That's how everything in creation actually works. There's nothing out of creation that doesn't work in the same kind of format and structure of design. So that's what we're saying there. So now you look at what we're doing right now. We're having wars, okay? So we know that the Illuminati, the fucking upper elite echelon and all that are actually playing games at the moment. We understand that. So they are trying to manifest the negative. See, all this fear, what they do is they send you a fear scare, like the false terror, okay? So you know yourself that it's a false flag. So that's the positive out of it. But the negative out of it is that they were telling you that it's real, but it's not real. See, they actually do false flags to try and balance the duality law, because the duality law has to be so everything is balanced. So the fact that nothing really happened and they're saying that something happened balances itself, because they're doing a lie with like nothing that really happened. They're saying something happened that never happened, kind of thing. So they're balancing the duality. This is the reason why we're noticing so much, like we're talking about Nibiru, the Mayan prophecy, Y2K, alien, the 3 UFO giant ships coming towards Earth. All of this fucking shit that constantly keeps coming up is because you need to have that fear vibration generated for the fact that it actually manifests physical reality as the negative side of Yahweh. See, if you don't have that, you're just going to have a fucking set flat line, which nothing's going to be created. This is just the structure of creation. So what you actually have to do in the aspects of all reality is to think about what you have to do. Like, if you go outside the box, like I said in my last video, which I'm continuing this for, is you look back at the matrix and you can see inside the matrix all construction of the program of the Archon is all in reverse, and nothing itself is actually set to its own sequence of what it is inside the matrix. So as bad as it sounds, Christianity is holding the world to always be pure. That's the light side that wants to be total light. Then you've got the Satanists that want the entire world to be dark. So then you've got your dark side of Yahweh wanting to be total dark. So all we've got is two separate factions that are worshipping different selections of their own intentions of Yahweh for their own gain. Well, for their own gain, or for their own good, or for their own belief system, etc., like that. But the fact is, that's wrong to begin with. We shouldn't have two factions. We should just be worshipping it as one. See, once you understand that the laws of duality exist, you can start to balance it in the laws of duality. Like, when you have your life, you should actually get up, and every time you have a decision pop up in your life, you shouldn't just go with the first flow. You should have a duality choice. That's how everything in whole creation is. That's why it is all duality. Cat chases a dog, etc., like that. Male, female. Every single thing is duality, right? So what I'm trying to get at is, so to balance duality, like I said before, we'd have to separate the world. That's just a given, because there's too many of the same in each area. Now, we don't have to destroy anyone. We don't have to kill anyone or log them out, or like people say, like I'm crazy when I say, spit that shit down there. Fucking, when people say I'm crazy because I say log in and log out. Now, I'm not telling you to fucking do it, am I? Am I fucking being a dictator, fucking trying to indoctrinate you with the, like, suicidal programming? No, I'm fucking not. All I'm trying to do is explain to you that we're quantum. Quantum means that we always exist everywhere, in every space, at every time. Alright? We're quantum beings. The avatar itself is fleshy meat shit that can fall to the fucking floor, and it wouldn't matter. Right? That's my relay of information that I'm trying to get across to you, is when I say to log in and log out. I'm not saying, oh yeah, fuck it, life's just a game, log in and log out. I'm just trying to give you the understanding of what's really there behind the closed curtain of indoctrination, because indoctrination is a bitch to try to fucking get through once you think there's nothing there except for indoctrination. So once you try to break indoctrination, the only thing that happens is you indoctrinate yourself to try to make your indoctrination belief stronger, and then you actually reinforce that indoctrination belief within yourself, unless you actually do see outside of the box and realize the logic of understanding that not everything that you understand is what exists, and that everything that does exist is very fucking far away from the actual normal of what you always thought it could be. Because the quantum mechanics and science that's actually get to now, that we shifted parallel realities, right? So what has that actually taught you out there? So we come from Sagittarius correct? Alright, well, a lot of us do. You Orions are saying, well, we didn't come from Orion spur, when we didn't come from Sagittarius. Yeah, well, we get that, alright? So what it is what has it taught us? It's taught us that there's two realities, didn't it? What's two realities? Two realities is duality. And now we have two memories, duality. We have the Christian verses that have changed to have one that means another and one that means another. We have the Christians arguing over what the actual book says and shit from different realities, but it's duality. Everything is trying to teach us as a lesson from the one consciousness. Everything is duality. And the only time that we can balance duality to get the real understanding of what's going on behind creation itself, God, Yahweh, the Lord, is to understand how everything is manifested into creation. Well, I taught you before last time that everything is a game, that the consciousness itself is constantly relaying through messages in subliminal cause, but nothing is subliminal, etc., from anything except from the one consciousness, as everything is the one consciousness manifesting the direction of the physical reality. Like, it just built itself a D-wave, right? All it did then was the one self-consciousness itself manifested a D-wave computer to let us understand that quantum and life and reality is nothing more than a quantum computer. You get it? It's teaching us in the actual understanding of what we can get by teaching us the physical experience of what could possibly happen is real. Like, for example, who out there would have thought that they were a light being or a 100% spiritual soul, and their avatar had fuck all to do with it until they realised that their organs had changed, and reality had changed, and the movies had changed, and everything else like that had changed. The only reason this has happened is because the CERN experiment was called the Awake experiment. And because you've got to look at everything inside the matrix in reverse, so you look at CERN's experiment, they've got the sleep experiment. So therefore, who are the sleep that they want to awaken? We were. Because we were so indoctrinated into the game and not understanding it's a game anymore, that we were physically thinking the vibrational frequency of consciousness manifestation of the physical matrix was the only thing that existed. And we were so grounded inside of it that we needed our brothers and sisters from the light board chess game to come in and give us a nice big awakening. So this is the reason why that's happened. See, there's a good and a bad to everything. This is how Yahweh's structure works. The bad is we thought that they were doing fucking bad, right? We thought that CERN was out to con us because fucking the Big Bang Theory and that never existed. So we were like, oh, well, what the fuck's going on? Just like I was, like everyone else. And now I find out that what it was all about is because they are trying to awaken us because we have been asleep. So everything's in reverse. So you have CERN and they were conning us, right? So let's put it together, concern. So they were concerned. You get it? Just like I pointed out in my last video that the ritual that was done at fucking CERN, which is, remind you, you got to remember to yourself that there's no possible way that the security would not have caught them, with all of them having their own fucking badges and IDs to get through all the campus security and the way that we got with biometrics and everything like that. And this is CERN, the fucking time machine central. I'm pretty sure they got some hardcore shit there. So you have them showing us what, once again? You have us showing us like they're playing a fucking game, dressed in like fucking Dungeons and Dragons crap, like warlock fucking hoods and shit, with the black, with the white, showing you duality once again. You see, everything is a lesson in duality. That's the only reason the Mandela effect happened. It wasn't for bonding anything except bonding into one. That's why bond one. We got to bond everything to one to get the understanding. So once you understand you're a light being and you understand that the physical matrix does not fucking exist, then therefore anything in the physical matrix is all fucking just nothing, right? So why do we have deemed names for things inside the physical matrix? Why do we call things evil? Why do we call things bad and good? Because in fact of reality, nothing is anything except for the pure source of creation of consciousness, Yahweh. As he says, like I said before, I create all the good and I create all the evil. So therefore we have one God. So why do we have split deities all to the one fucking true God of everything? Which is fucking stupid. So anyway, I'll go back to what I'm saying. So split apart the countries, you do like I said before, etc. like that. And for the balance, you'd have to do something like for the criminals in death row, right? So what you'd do is you'd have them fight each other, and you'd record it. It would be a TV show. So then what you'd do is have them fucking fight each other to the death. The one criminal that actually lives from death row out of all of the survives gets to go free. And then what happens is what it works in duality, right? Because the actual filming of it is bad, right? And the murdering and shit, or the filming of the murdering is bad while it's going on, correct? But at the end, you're doing duality because one gets to go free. So there you've got your positive added into the negative. And then that criminal's going to go back out into the street, and he's going to do another negative, and he's going to get put back in jail. So there's the positive. So you have to use the frequency of manifestation of design. See, it always has to be the same design of duality. You can't have reality function without the duality. So what we have to do as a full massive as a whole is understand that there is no separate sides or fuck all like this or this big good old blue beam that's about to happen to change the world to one religion, they reckon, and shit. So no one fall for that fucking crap, for fuck's sake. But we need to have it all put down to be set to the one religion of everything, that what it should be is one of Yahweh. That's it. Everything was created from Yahweh. So why do you think that Yahweh talks things like always about duality? I create the evil and I create the good. What is it to be live? Live is to be evil, right? Like I said before, because live is evil. Like shit like that is always how it is. It's just the reverse anagrams of everything, like inside of the matrix. Everything can be figured out as a puzzle, even words themselves. So everything goes down to duality. So you'd have to balance the world and split it apart so everything works in harmony. Now, we all don't want war. We all know we don't want to go into a fucking world war and have to deal with all that shit because these fuckers want to play a game. So, well, let's just dedicate part of the world to war and have that part of the world cut off, call it fucking warland or whatever you want. And if they want to play war and army and nations want to play wars and shit because they understand they're players in the game, let them go to the fucking war. And if you want to go join the war, go there, go log in at the front, go register at the front, say you're playing the game, get your gun, run in there, shoot as much as you fucking like. But then you can have your peaceful places, your serenity places where people get married, live happily ever after, and everything like that. You could actually balance the world so well using the duality law that the duality law actually exists in harmony, because you can use black to kill black. you don't have to use black to kill the white, but you have to use white to heal the black. See, black can be killing itself off, but still be positive. Like I said, you're killing off criminals with a criminal. You're killing off black with black, but you're getting the positive interpretation of what was the actual design of your reality of what you wanted from the actual creation of creating that as a duality. So you can actually balance every single thing in real life if you actually thought to this. Now, this is what the Illuminati try to do 24/7. Now, that's why I'm explaining it as well, because you cannot have everything pure and you cannot have everything dark. So we have to have these vibrations going. But, I mean, if you knew that the dark side is fucking fuck all except God, and it's all God as one, are you going to be scared of it? And if you realize you're quantum and you're a quantum being that can actually really truly log in and log out, and maybe not to the same game until we invent some kind of checkpoint machine, which I'm pretty sure CERN's getting fucking close to, already figuring out quantum. Think about what that is as well. All that is a fucking computer game set point where you run through it and you go back. So in the future, you could have miniature CERNs at the front of each individual kind of area of each fucking country and shit, or whatever the game is, and you can run in there from that, and you reset, you go straight back to that. You jump into a new avatar. Once we understand our avatars aren't actually what we really are, and that we keep coming back over and over and over and over again to play the game, then we can actually design different kinds of avatars like a computer game for us to log into. Now, you think like when you talk about demons, spirits, and everything like that, now, what's the truth of that? What is the actual truth behind all this indoctrination, stereotype programming throughout the ages, from the Middle Ages and whatever existed and whatever else is virtual reality programming that was just put there before we were put into here? But what is the truth behind all of it? The truth behind every single fucking thing right there is it's all energy. That's all it is. It's either positive energy or negative energy. That's it. There's no, well, everything's consciousness to begin with. You know that yourself. Every single thing that exists is part of the one consciousness. We're nothing but part of that one consciousness. So that's the reason why you have negative people that you feel negative towards. You can actually automatically sense them because they are your negative. So they're the fucking part of the dark side of Yahweh. But it has to go like this because it needs to have a balance constantly. So everything in law has to be duality. That's what I'm getting from this. Going right down from scientific physics, every single thing that you think of has to be duality. You think about what's in reality right now, right? And you look at the duality law, so you've got the cops. The cops are supposed to be the citizens on patrol, right? Nah, they're fucking scum. They just beat you. They fucking treat you like shit. They act like they got all the power. You're fuck all. You obey. That's it, right? So look at the duality law there. A person that gets done for break and enter or something gets more sentence than a person that gets done for manslaughter or murder sometimes. The duality there. What else in reality? Marijuana. Marijuana is supposed to have been deemed to be this really bad drug that is going to make people go psychotic and end up in fucking mental institutions and stuff like that. But now, in the reality, people are understanding that medical marijuana actually cures, and cures a lot, as well as the actual pure forms of the marijuana can actually cure cancer. So there's duality there. You see, all the structures inside of the matrix are duality, and that's the only play of the game that's always been played, but you're never supposed to look at it from the middle and go, wow, there's two sides to this. You hear that saying? There's two sides to every story. Well, this is just two sides to every story that creates the one full story. And that's what Yahweh is all about with everything that is being left in reality. The Bible itself has one verse that will say one way. The next verse in the same paragraph will say the other way. See, it's showing duality. It's not supposed to be taken literally. It's supposed to show that everything itself has a duality to its meaning. Like, you think about it. We're alive and there's undead. You see, everything that's created is duality. So you cannot have a design of creation where it's supposed to be working in total harmony with it being all peace or all evil. You have to have the balance in the middle and be neutral and create a neutral world for the intention of the players to go to any manifested desired creation for that kind of mentality of that avatar, of that player, to experience themselves in the game. And that's how you could get perfect harmony, and that's the only way you can get perfect harmony. For example, you may say to me, but what does it say about if it's duality laws, and the Yahweh's all good and evil, then why is Yahweh and Satan and stuff like that, and why does it say the Christ is coming back and the Antichrist? Well, that's simple. You go outside of the matrix, like I said, the laws inside of the matrix are reversed. See, the funny thing is you would never think to have a look at Satanism, because Satanism actually is bad inside the matrix. And this is the funniest thing. No, I'm not a fucking Satanist and shit. I just showed you all that shit. So all you ones that are going to cry, fucking lick my balls, because I can't be fucked hearing it, right? But so what you've got is like the exact fucking one God that is everything, right? So when you read the Bible and use the law of reverse, which is actually outside of the matrix, when you go back to well, let's just say heaven, outside into the outside of the matrix and view it, itself is actually all reverse. So you've got everything now. So let's just use reverse and everything that's said. The Antichrist will come. Christ won't return. Okay? So you see the law there has been done. You can see it. You can do it with everything. Sky News, right? Which is really ground lies. We know they lie and everything like that. They're telling you blatantly that that's what they do. Everything is the law of reversal for duality. This is the reason why they're... See, what it is funny as well is that the duality law, it makes us think that they're doing evil, because they're not doing fucking evil. That's the duality law. See, the funniest part of the game is to get through the indoctrination understanding of there's a program that programs you from seeing the other side. That's what it's all about. It's just an indoctrination. There's no fucking evil behind it. It's all just a systematic understanding of how the one creation creates everything. And it's always duality. There is no opposite, like one side that's going to conquer all. It's always going to have a perpetual balance. And that's the reason why we do need to have nature resurrected back into it. There's no global warming. That shit can just fuck off. You know, everyone out there should know that there's no global warming or anything like that. So you're looking at reality itself. And now I said, like I said, Christ won't come. So now look at the other one. You got the Antichrist will come. So that's Christ won't return. And then you've got Christ will come, which is then the Antichrist. I mean, Christ will return, which is the Antichrist won't come. You get it? It's all just hidden messages in the actual design of the matrix. You got to remember, this is fucking fake. There's nothing here. As hard as that's to understand, it is the most advanced biological, virtual reality, pixelated, fucking top of the grade fucking thing that we're trying to get to right now. And this is what it is. We're actually doing that as light beings, and like I've explained in my last video. So everything has to be in the creation of duality, because the consciousness manifestation itself of the light beings outside want to play a game. One is player one, one is player two. We're trying to play a fucking game, but when we got in here, we're just doing spastic shit and going, well, this must be our real reality, so we'll sit down here and we'll make a fucking nest and we'll never budge forever. And that's the reason why the consciousness itself has started to manifest all of these hints through the matrix machine, so it can manifest into your understanding. Like a lot of you Mandela effect people out there must be getting synchronicity all the time and noticing that everything is trying to give you a hint, right? Wonder why? Because we got the awake. And that's the reason why you've noticed so many things that are showing up. You know, like since I've been here, I must have watched just things flicker in the corner of my eyes like on TV and shit that has so much to do with the Mandela effect, it's a joke. But, you know, when you understand that it's all consciousness relaying to you what you understand is the correct way and the correct path of understanding, then you just go with the flow and understand that that's what it is. But the whole lesson here is you cannot have the yin without the yang. Exactly what they know, consciousness, all the deities, Shiva, fucking Jesus, every single like kind of design of religious leader is always been consciousness. It's always been talking about trying to find your inner self through the Christ chakra and connect to consciousness. Because believe it or not, while we've been looking for God, God's been looking for us. And every time that we've been looking for God, we've been looking in the wrong spot, because you're looking at one side. What you got to do is stand in the middle and look at the white and the black as God and go, I accept that. And I love it, right? That's how you love thy enemy. This is what it's all about, loving God as a whole. And this is the only understanding of duality is put there for you to get. Anyway, so that's my first part of the rant. Now I'm going to include the rest of my other... Alright, so I thought I'd continue on and with a little bit more, eh? So, what we're going to talk about in this little last part is how and what Yahweh is, okay? So, everyone looks at it as Yahweh as being entities and everything like this. Well, the fucking truth and fact of what everything is just a creational energy, which is basically self-aware consciousness. So, you can say a spirit is a singularity of the consciousness. That's the reason why your singularity is in your avatar, etc. like that. But Yahweh is nothing more than the negative and the positive self-aware consciousness that is joined and created and become one. And the energy itself of Yahweh is neutral. It's just the practitioners, the seers, the Reiki healers, the magicians' intent on how to use that energy that is always there from Yahweh. So you can have the Satanists, which are using the energy for their own intent, which is self-service to themselves to gain in the matrix. That's what Satanism is, down to what it is, down to a T. There's no fucking evil shit that they worship precise, or some of them fucking call certain frequencies of energy a certain deity's name, but the fucking truth of all of it is it's just a certain frequency of energy that they desire and manifest through their own thought initiative programming of consciousness. So their intent is what they actually use that energy for. And when you go to the Reiki healing and the true spiritual healers of the world, aka all the way back to the Christ that opened up his Christ chakra and walked like a man of the earth, but not in the earth, you use the same energy, which the Satanists take and anyone else takes, healers, whatever. You use the same neutral energy, but you use it for service to others. So instead of using it for your own self-gain, you're using it to heal someone's emotional or physical or spiritual field to allow them to progress more inside of the matrix and get more understanding to the insight of what everything is, or open up their chakras so consciousness can actually allow to contact them easier. That's what service to self is. So that is the positive, the self-healing, I mean the lay on hands, everything that you can think of that has been miracles, etc. like that, is all from service to others. And the other shit is all Satanism shit, which is service to self. That is all that Yahweh exists as a pure source of creational consciousness. It's self-aware, 100% knows that we're all singularities of it. We are all, to put it into terms of understanding in the matrix, we are all neutrons firing up inside of a brain to accelerate the entire brain, and so it can understand and learn more. So we have like the black and white blood cell, the red and white blood cells, how they fight and everything like that. That's exactly the same as what goes on the actual matrix plane, and that's what it has to be, because this is always what it's going to be. You cannot have this, like I said before, any other way except for balanced duality, to understand exactly everything of creation is duality. Every spiritual teaching teaches nothing more than to open up the Christ chakra and the seven chakras and the Christ eye, or the third eye, and connect yourself to consciousness, because believe it or not, while you're looking out there for God, saying that God's coming and he'll be here one day, he's always been looking for us, but we've been too blind to turn around and realize that instead of looking at one side of him or the other side of him, he's actually both, and we got to look from the middle. Cheers. I'll add this part quickly for the Mandela effect people. So, since you have come here from Sagittarius to the Orion spur, 85,000 light years away from our original dimension of design, where we grew up, and everything was like wasn't like a box of chocolates, I should say. It was like, not was, yeah, but anyway. So, the only reason we were brought and taken through to the next dimension of design is because we had an understanding already on the Sagittarius plane that we were connected to consciousness. So it may be through religion, it may be through spiritual teachings, it may just be through creativity or whatever, but we were the ones that were on the vibrational frequency that allowed us to be the one shifted in consciousness and come to the Orion spur. So what has it taught you? It's taught you that your body is nothing. Well, it's the Satan of the plane, as this, if you explain it in the two energies I'm trying to say. So you've got your example for yourself. You've got your Satan and your God, right? Or Christ and Satan, right? Or Antichrist and Christ, whatever. But you've got that as yourself. So you've got your spiritual being, which is your light being, which you are, purely are, which is your divine, right? Which is your God. You are son of God, right? So then you've got your Satan, which is the son of man. So that's your physical avatar inside the matrix. So that explains what that is. So you know through the consciousness shift, through the parallel realities, that we are nothing more than light beings, hence the body changes, etc., that to their anatomy. But what has it taught you? The whole lesson of the Mandela effect is because no one listens to consciousness. Everyone's trying to change and look after their own deity and worship their one side of Yahweh, but no one understood the full creation of what it really is. So consciousness, as manifesting the physical reality, through it directing reality all the time, has decided to now give us a nice big wake up. So now you know that you're a spiritual body, that's it, and your avatar is in the material plane, okay? Now, what else did you learn? We are now experiencing 100% duality. If everything has changed to have double fucking meaning, right? So I wonder what the lesson is here. Duality, perhaps, huh? See, everything has been taught. Consciousness does not do anything in the physical plane without trying to give us a understanding. And the problem is, everyone, look, for example, if you look at TV in a movie, what do you say being indoctrinated inside the matrix? You say, well, that was a good movie, right? But you don't understand that it was a singularity of consciousness that manifested that movie. Now, there's always a message in everything. This is why consciousness directs you at the moment with so many sayings that are around to connect to consciousness. You know, connect, all this fucking shit with phones and shit. And what's phones? Phones are the singularity of someone that connect. You get it? It's just showing us that we, as the consciousness of the one, are already quantum. We just forgot. And through all these awakening experiments, I'll call them, we will discover once again that we are quantum beings that can communicate quantumly. This is what it's all trying to train us. That's why you have a cell phone. Everyone has a cell phone. You quantumly communicate at the moment, but you don't do it through your consciousness. And this is where consciousness is leading. This is what consciousness is trying to say, as well as the Mandela effect has shown you that your consciousness memory, which is not what it used to be, it actually always used to be you logged out, you come back into the game, and you had no recollection memory until you got into the game later on, and then you figured out you were reincarnated or whichever kind of belief or spiritual belief you followed for that, whichever religion. But that is not what it is. Now it is where you can actually log out, and when you come back next time, you're going to have your full consciousness. This is why the Mandela effect was done also, to show that we can shift through parallel realities and frequencies of dimensional manifestation of consciousness, and we can remain, and we are not destroyed, anything like that. So when we switched the consciousness energies, that showed every single singularity of our own collective throughout the infinite parallel dimensional mirrors, that we are actual quantum right through. So every single one of us in every parallel mirror has now got self-awareness as being quantum. So this is the understandings that we're all getting. That with the duality and with the lesson that there has to be, the God is what's controlling everything. So there is a duality to God, and God is one. This is what we have to understand. Anyway, thanks. Peace and love, brothers and sisters. Hey, I'll add a bit more anyway. So, so, what I will explain for last is what is a synchronicity. Okay, so when you get a synchronicity, it's the manifestation of the pure source of creation consciousness trying to direct you or give you a understanding of that God is there. It's a sometimes it can be a message from the consciousness to alert you to your understanding of something is correct, or to alert you to your understanding of something is wrong. But for example, let me say, since you got from the Mandela effect, so you see things on TV right now that has Coca-Cola and stuff like that. Everything's a synchronicity because it's just not what it should be. Or you might notice something that is full on, whoa, what the hell? See, that is consciousness itself trying to direct you to understand, to open up your Christ chakra to get in contact with it. Because everything that exists is made of the consciousness energies. It doesn't matter what it is in the physical matrix plane. It's all a manifestation of the pure source of creation through the vibrational frequencies of consciousness. And it is all trying to communicate with us all the time. Now, when you say you look for God, you know, he's everywhere. He's in the sky, he's in the ground, he's everywhere. It's everything. It's you, it's me, it's everyone. This is what we haven't understood throughout the entire decades and centuries and millennia of religion. We haven't understood that everything was a allegory and a hypothetical understanding of duality, explained through verses of duality, and basically two paths that you can choose out of a religion that was in there for duality, but the understanding to get to the end of it, which is always to become divine knowing or enlightened, and open up your third eye or the Christ chakra or the crown chakra and connect to the pure source of creation of consciousness and receive the divine knowing that we all should know. And that's what that is all about. The synchronicities are a message from consciousness constantly asking you repetitively, can you please start learning this so you can understand that you're not a physical meat bag that will die one day and everything will turn black and you will never ever return again and everything's so fucking scary and all that crap. So that's what synchronicities are for. Thanks.